this idea to do a show about women that I really just love, admire. I love what they're doing in their own industry. I remember being little. I was in kindergarten, and I always was kind of a loner, and I was always singing to myself. And my PE teacher said to me, "Reese, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I'm gonna be Dolly Parton." And I meant it.
My daddy was strict. Daddy didn't want me getting out in the world.
Yeah.
He didn't even want me to go to school. You know,
Really?
But that wasn't in a bad way. He just was afraid something bad was going to happen to his girls. But Mom knew that I had a strength. She knew I knew what I wanted and who I was.
It's so freeing when you're just yourself and you just own up to it.
And if anybody likes it, you're like, "Thank you for liking it."
I know, and it makes you appreciate those people more, you know?
I've always been a really curious person and a huge nerd.
Your mom and my mom probably need to have a discussion.
Or maybe not.
Maybe there's a lot to share about what it means to have a creative daughter in high school who's trying to break all the rules.
Well, she lucked out. I didn't go to high school.
She did.
Aren't you scared you're gonna fall?
Yeah, and I do.
We had landlords, hang up on us when they heard what our idea was. They said, "We want something that's gonna last more than a few months." But when you have something to prove, you're gonna work that much harder.
I've known since I was a little girl I was gonna help women. I just didn't know I was gonna start with their butt. God has a good sense of humor. It turns out it was a really good place to start.
When did you start writing all these feelings? Because I know you're a mom with a couple of young kids.
Dripping with children.
When you're a mom and you go through something like that, you just don't even have time to process it. Because there's still all the various people who need all the things and snacks and the field trips and
Snacks.
you know?
My mom was in the reserves, and my dad.
Wow, that's
The Tennessee National Guard. So my mom went to boot camp.
Really? I love it.
I remember being a little girl, my mom went to boot camp, and I was like, my mom wears combat boots. I thought it was so cool. Okay, do I get to ask you about your Barbie? I had a Legally Blonde Barbie, but you had a Barbie that was about you.
It was pretty cool. I think the main thing is the representation of girls seeing different jobs, different things that are possible.
Looking back, it's of course that girl was supposed to be a magazine editor. I would make these elaborate collages. Now I have the language for it. These were layouts, but really I'm just a girl who likes to scrapbook.
And so people always say, well, school's wasted on the youth. And did you feel that way?
100%. I couldn't help but look at the 17-year-olds around me and say, this is really important stuff. You need to know this.
Now you guys are in a unique position where you actually have other women to look up to. Women that look like you, that talk like you, that might wear the same clothes as you, that was maybe come from the same place that you come from, right? So you guys, because you can see it, you might one day become a professional athlete, right?
And because this is about girl power and your power, it should be about how you see it and how you would do it and defining your style within the word. So do you, baby boo?
When we're trying to eliminate discrimination, create more inclusion, making sure every voice is heard and there are more seats at the table for different kinds of storytellers, it's time that we stand up for the younger generation as well.